Hey guys, it's Billie A. Welcome to my channel. I'm really excited to be filming my first video today. I'm going to be showing you guys my vinyl record collection from 2021. So I started collecting really late 2020, but I love it and I love vinyl. I love all things music, so if you're interested in like music reviews, vinyl updates, and some lifestyle videos as well, I will be doing all types of things like that, and I'd love if you would subscribe to see more. So, without further ado, let's get started. First up is my vinyl of The Score by Fugees. This is a gatefold. It's the Target edition, and I love this album. I actually didn't know it when I got it, but I'm so glad I did because all of the songs on here are just amazing. My favorites would have to be The Mask, Family Business, and How Many Mics. It's just a beautiful swirl of vinyl, kind of like a smoky clear. I don't know how well the camera picks that up, but it's so pretty, and I just absolutely love that one. It's a great listen, and yeah, I totally recommend the album if you haven't heard it. Next up, I have one of my favorite albums of all time, Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette. This is an amazing album, and it is pressed on a clear vinyl. It's a really nice clear vinyl too, like especially clear compared to a lot of them I've seen. So I just think it's beautiful. My favorite songs off this would have to be Not the Doctor, Ironic, and You Oughta Know. All great songs though. Next up, I have Fine Line by one of my favorite artists, Harry Styles. This is a gatefold, also a Target edition, and I love this album. This is pressed on like a splatter vinyl that is clear with black and white. It's so pretty. I think it just really complements the album well. My favorite songs on this are Cherry, Falling, and oh my gosh, it's hard, probably Lights Up. My next album is by my favorite artist of all time. It's Taylor Swift with Lover. This is a gatefold, also a Target edition, and this actually has two different pressings. There's a light pink and a light blue, and they're both really pretty. So I just think it's such a cool color. Obviously works well with the album. My favorite songs off this would have to be probably False God, Cornelia Street, and Afterglow. Yes, okay. Here is the blue. I think this is really pretty as well and matches the album perfectly. So this is one of my most listened to vinyls. It's a great listen and I just love it. Next up, I also love this album, all of them. This is Under My Influence by the Aces, who if you have not heard of, I would totally recommend. They mean a lot to me. And this is the gatefold. I believe this came from Urban Outfitters. So I usually get mine from either Amazon, Urban Outfitters, or Target. So this might be my favorite pressing I have. It's just so cool. You don't see a lot of orange vinyl, especially not orange splatter. So I'm very glad I have this. My favorite songs off this album are Daydream, Los Angeles, and maybe New Emotion. Really good album. Next up, I have Rare by Selena Gomez, pressed on the Target exclusive translucent red vinyl. Red is my favorite color, so I have a lot of red vinyl records. Super pretty. My favorite songs on this album are Rare, Dance Again, and Lose You to Love Me. So great album as well. Next up, I have Calm by 5 Seconds of Summer. This is a great album. And this is pressed on a translucent blue vinyl. So pretty. I just love this color, and I think it's great. My favorite songs off this would have to be No Shame, Not in the Same Way, and probably Teeth. Really good album. Next up, I have one of my two black vinyl, but I wanted to show it in this video. It's Ed Sheeran No. 6 Collaborations Project, which I really like this album. I think it's fun. I got it for a really good deal. And so yeah, normally I don't purchase black vinyl, but this was an exception, and it's so cool to have a couple of those in my collection. Next up, I have Heartwork by The Used, one of my favorite albums. I just love it. This is also one of my very favorite pressings I have. It is a gorgeous red rainbow splatter. So so pretty. I just love it. My favorite songs off this would have to be Cathedral Bell, Clean Cut Heels, and Obvious Blase. But yeah, the whole album is amazing, and I would totally recommend it. Next up, I have Wonder by Shawn Mendes, which came out late 2020, and I'm so glad I have this in my collection. It's a gatefold, and I got this from Shawn Mendes merch shop. And this is similar to the 5 Seconds of Summer pressing. It's just this really pretty translucent blue. My favorite songs off this album are Wonder, Higher, and Look Up at the Stars. Great album. Next up, I have Hollywood's Bleeding by Post Malone, one of my favorite albums as well. This is a really heavy one. It's got a lot in it, which is cool. So we have the gatefold, and then it's on a translucent green vinyl, which is so cool. I haven't seen a lot like this, so I'm really glad I have this in my collection. It also comes with a really cool booklet thing as well, so lots of great things in this vinyl, which I think I got from Target, but Urban Outfitters has one as well that's similar, so I'm not positive. Next up, I have one of my favorite EPs ever by one of my favorite bands of all time, Counting Crows. This is Butter Miracle Sweet 1, their EP that just came out recently. This is also pressed on a black vinyl. It's amazing. All 4 songs on it are great, so I definitely recommend you check it out. And I have Stevie Wonder's Number Ones, which is pretty cool. I forgot, on the Counting Crows album there are only 4 songs, so I'm not going to pick 3 of the 4, but I am going to say The Tall Grass is my very favorite. A great song. This is another red vinyl. Like I said, I have a lot, but I love the color of this translucent red one. It's really bright, which I love. It just is perfect for the album, and I love it. My favorites off this are probably Uptight, Higher Ground, and that's hard. Maybe Part-Time Lover. Really good. Number Ones from Stevie Wonder. I love that album. And this is Evermore by Taylor Swift. Almost called it Folklore because I had that as well. 2 of my very favorite albums from 2020. I like to get as much Taylor Swift in my collection as I can possible. Another red vinyl. Somehow they got all in a row. But this one is just solid. It's not translucent, but it's so pretty, and I think it's a great color. Works well with the album, just complements the cover. So I absolutely love this album, and my favorites on it are Champagne Problems, 'Tis the Damn Season, and Evermore. Great album. Next up, I have Hopeless Fountain Kingdom by Halsey, one of my other favorite artists. This is a gatefold. I really like the gatefold. Just all of the album cover colors I love so much. And this pressing is really cool as well. I believe I got this off Amazon for a really good deal. But look how pretty that is. I think it's amazing. I love it. My favorite songs off this are Sorry, Bad at Love, and Strangers. But yeah, the whole album is great, and I love to listen to this one. Next up, I have, Don't Smile at Me. I almost called it I Don't Want to Be You Anymore, because that is my favorite song off the album, as well as probably Watch and Ocean Eyes. But yeah, this is another red vinyl, believe it or not. And this is an opaque one, but it's almost a pinky color. I guess it's considered red. Really pretty. A great EP. This one does not want to go in. There we go. Next up, I have Manic by Halsey. Another great album of hers. Her most recent. She has one coming out soon that's going to be in more of a rock direction. So I'm interested to see how that goes. I really hope it's good. So here we have a really pretty light translucent green. It's almost like a clear. I think they call it like Coke bottle clear, but it's really pretty. My favorite songs off this are probably Still Learning, Finally Beautiful Stranger, and Without Me, but the entire album is great. Next up, I have Where We All Fall Asleep, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? By none other than Billie Eilish, who just came out with Happier Than Ever, which I'm definitely going to get on vinyl because I love, love, love the album. I was very impressed. This is pressed on a bright orange vinyl. It said copper, so when I got this, I did not expect it to be so bright, but with the really dark album cover, I think it's a really cool feature. So my favorite songs off this would have to be I Love You, Bad Guy, and You Should See Me in the Crown. You Should See Me in a Crown. Next up, I have Golden Hour by Casey Musgraves. I love the album aesthetic on this one as well. Really pretty gatefold. This is also pressed on a clear vinyl like the Alanis Morissette one. This one's not quite as clear, but it's a really pretty, like almost milky clear. I really like it. My favorite songs off this album are probably Slow Burn, High Horse, and Love is a Wild Thing. Next up, I have What's the Story? Morning Glory by Oasis, one of my favorite albums of all time. I love Oasis and just respect them so much. They're amazing musicians, songwriters, and yeah, they're great. So here is my silver pressing of this album. So pretty. There's almost like a swirl to it. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but really cool looking. My favorite songs off this are Champagne Supernova, She's Electric, and Wonderwall. Next up, here is the one I was talking about earlier. We have Folklore by Taylor Swift, the first album to, I guess, like the duo, Folklore and Evermore. This is such a good album. I was so surprised but impressed by this. Exile, Betty, and Epiphany are probably my favorites off this album. Alright, next up, I have the first vinyl record that I ever got. This is the Blue Album by Weezer, their debut, and it's just such a great album. Every song on it, honestly, is just so good. So this is pressed on like a marbled blue, which is one of my favorite pressings I have. This is the Target exclusive, and I just think it's so, so pretty. And obviously matches the album well. I don't even know where to begin with favorite songs off this, but it would have to probably be the Sweater Song, The World Has Turned and Left Me Here, and Say It Ain't So. Next up, I have Nevermind by Nirvana, and this is also pressed on a silver one, just like the Oasis. Also kind of has a swirl to it, so I'm not sure if that's a silver thing. This one's a bit lighter in color and lighter in weight, but it's really pretty. I believe I got this one from Target, and it's a great album. Love Nirvana, love this record, and my favorite songs off it would probably have to be Smells Like Teen Spirit, Come As You Are, and Lithium. But the entire album is great. So that's it for my vinyl collection 2021. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you want to see more videos like this related to music and lifestyle, I would love if you'd subscribe, and I'll be posting more videos soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.